I'd like to talk to you about air sources and the accessories that go along with the airbrush. Let's first talk about the air sources and how you hook up the airbrush. What I have in front of me, it's a diaphragm compressor made by Badger. It's a neat compressor because it only runs when you press down on the trigger of your airbrush and shuts off automatically when you release the trigger. You have your compressor, which is your air source, and that air is compressed and then goes through a hose and into the airbrush. Before it gets into the hose, though, it goes through a regulator, and that's what this item is here. This is an air regulator. Also has a built-in trap, moisture trap on it. This is an air regulator. You would set your air pressure at the poundage that you would want to work at. Normally when you're first learning how to use the airbrush, you work at about 25 pounds per square inch. So you would set the dial at 25 psi, and that would give you the correct spray. Then to the end of the regulator, you would attach your air hose. And this is a flexible air hose. It's a recoil, so it stays out of your way. And this attaches to the 1/4-inch thread piece that comes out of your regulator. And then the other end, which has a smaller thread on it, attaches to the bottom of your airbrush. And you would be all hooked up. You would plug in your compressor, set your regulator, and then press down on the trigger of your airbrush for the spray. Another way of going about propelling an airbrush is with propel cans, and that's what this is. This is a propel can. This has a mixture in there that produces your air, your propel, to run the airbrush. And on the top, I have a propel regulator. It's a little attachment, screws down onto the top of the propel can. When you crank down the button at the top of the propel regulator, it turns it on. And the propel comes out, will go into the hose, which would attach to the propel regulator, and the other end would attach to your airbrush. And you could spray that way. The most effective way is with a compressor. You know, a compressor will last you a lifetime, and it'll just keep producing air all along. But Badger makes a whole host of items designed for the airbrush user. And let me just go through some of them. Airbrushing is a system in which you use a lot of stencils. You use stencils to develop your images. You can buy pre-cut stencils, you can use drafting templates, or you can cut stencils directly on the surface of your artwork. And when you do that, when you cut stencils directly on the surface of your artwork, you use a material called Frisket film. And that's what this is. This is Badger Photo Frisket film. It's a self-adhering transparent material that you peel off the backing, lay it over top of a line drawing, and then cut out the areas in which you would want to paint. It's available both in sheets and in rolls. You can get a roll 1 foot wide, 15 feet long, or you can get a larger roll, 2 foot wide, 15 feet long. So it's available in sheets or in rolls of various sizes. It's also available matte or gloss. That would mean that let me just dig one out from underneath here. This is a sheet of gloss Frisket film. This is how it would look when you took it out of the package. It has a protective backing on it that you would peel off and then lay the 2mm vinyl film over top of your line drawing. Take your X-Acto knife or whatever you're using, your Badger knife, and cut out the shape of the object you wanted to paint. It comes in a high sheen, a gloss, and it comes in a matte. On the matte Frisket film, you can draw on it. It'll take a pencil or a pen drawing. So you could do a line drawing actually on the Frisket film and then cut. So you have Frisket film that's self-adhering and transparent. You want to always work with a transparent stencil material so you can see through it to see where your line drawings are and to be able to match everything for registration. Another item that Badger has are airbrush templates, and these are really unique. As a matter of fact, I designed them. They are positive and negative shapes. And it's not like your regular template. Normally you buy a template and you get the hole, right? But here you got the hole, the opening, and also the little piece that dropped out of it. So you can spray through one and then cover it up with the other. And once you get into airbrushing, this will make a lot more sense. You'll see where you work with a lot of positive and negative shapes. The templates come in various shapes, spheres and ellipses, a lot of geometric shapes and things like that. They make mini stencils like these that are used primarily for fingernail painting, for decorating fingernails. People paint fingernails with an airbrush, and they use Aeropeg paints on the nails. So these templates were designed very small, exact laser cut stencils were designed for the fingernail artists. They make larger stencils also that are pre-cut, again laser cut for exacting quality. This is your decorative stencil for the decorative painter, for the craftsperson. I mean, just so many applications with the airbrush, so many different types of people use it. This one is of a tagger, right? And positive and negative. You would spray through one and then move it and spray through the next one. That's your template. There are many, many other items, and you should write to Badger and get their catalog so they can send you a list of all their products, because they're designed to be worked with the airbrush, and they're designed with the airbrusher in mind.